Hello viewers, Madam H here. Welcome to my Doctor Who themed YouTube channel, Who Ventures. Now, I sneaked into the TARDIS the other day and I found an interesting book. So this very interesting book holds a very interesting tale. It holds the tale of the magician's apprentice. It's all about an impossible choice for the Doctor. So, in the language of Earthians, I shall now proceed to give my views. So it was a beautiful new little BBC ident just before the episode, which was all sparkly and a lovely style. So we go into the episode with soldiers and a biplane shooting the soldiers, and the soldiers are armed rather oddly with bows and arrows, which probably aren't going to do much good. And the little boy is running away all scared, and nice soldier Kanzo, he tries to help the boy because there's going to be clam drones coming to attack them, and he scans the ground and finds hand mines. Tries to help the little boy, but the hand mines have got Kenzo and they pulled him into the air, and all these hand mines popped up from the ground with hands with eyes, and the boy was trapped until a Sonic goes flying through the air. It's somebody called the Doctor come to help him. The Doctor advises that you must forget the 1,000 and focus on the 1. And through this acoustic corridor, he has a conversation with the Doctor. The Doctor's been, or so he says, looking for a bookshop. The Doctor's advice is try never to understand. It's called keeping an open mind. The little boy is Davros. This presents a terrible dilemma for the Doctor. Is he going to save him or not save him? Because he knows what Davros will become and do. After the titles, we go to a place called the Maldivarium, reminiscent that of Doreen Maldivar, and it's a cantina-style cafe, more Poldarkian than the one that Captain Jack was in. And there's this guy called Colony Sarr, and he's looking for the Doctor. And in this cantina-style cafe, there's also an oud and a Sycorax. And then we visit the Shadow Proclamation and see the Jadoon. Colony Sarr is requiring the Doctor. Davros wants something with the Doctor. Colony Sarr goes on to Khan. The beautifully clothed sisters will take his skin unless he leaves, but he has a message that Davros is dying, and Davros has a message for the Doctor. Davros knows and remembers. Unbeknownst to Colony Sarr, the Doctor is hiding on Khan behind a rock. And then we see Davros in his Dalek, and Davos wants to seek the Doctor's friends. And we find Clara back in the classroom, back teaching all about Jane Austen, who's apparently a very good kisser. I wonder how Clara knows that. And then she sees through the window that hashtag the planes have stopped. Unit calls the school and Clara gets on her motorbike. This arises the thought that have the people on the planes stopped? That arose the thought in. It's an attack. The planes are frozen in time, but we can't tell the Doctor because he'll go Scottish. And then on the Doctor channel there is a message coming through. Hey Missy, you're so fine. You're so fine, you blew my mind. Hey Missy. And it's Missy coming through the square window. She meets Clara at 4 o'clock in the square. There are snipers to reassure Clara that she can go and meet Missy. Clara arrives in a black car to James Bond style music. No one can find the Doctor. Missy has the Doctor's confession dial. They spy a couple. Clara is put in her place as the puppy. Missy gives a spiel and tells a lie. She mentions since she was a little girl. Is that the lie? The Time Lords, according to Missy, have a deep friendship, but Missy starts shooting people, so Clara gets her to stop by saying, "Show me how much you care about the Doctor. Unfreeze the planes," which Missy does. We find out that the Doctor assumes he has one last night to live. If the Doctor has one last night to live, where would he go? So he goes to 1138 AD in Essex. That's my space cat coming to visit. Hello. Hello, space cat. The Doctor makes a grand entrance with his electric guitar, and Missy and Clara go to find him with their vortex manipulators. The Doctor is overplaying his role by storming in on a tank, playing the electric guitar with his sunglasses on, and he looks incredibly cool. And he's introduced the word, "Dude, what is that? You said you wanted an axe fight," which is slang for electric guitars. And then he says, "I bought a tank for my fish. I ordered it online. It's a fish tank." Another future joke. Then he spies Clara and Missy and rips Pretty Woman on his guitar. He's been in this place for 3 weeks. He has helped create a visitors centre and given them maths tuition in a fun way. And then he introduces a couple of friends of his, Missy and Clara. He's charming and he hugs Clara, but to hide his face. He's also been playing around with his former incarnations by wearing a bow tie and adorning a long scarf. But then the ox guy is choking and he thinks, don't swallow marbles, you're not meant to eat them. He thinks he's choking on a marble. And then the guy with a grilled face, meat face, but he's a snake, that's why his face is in sort of layers, because he's a curled up snake. He wants the doctor, because Davros wants to speak to the doctor again on the last night of his life. And Missy is put out by this, because the doctor says Davros is his arch enemy. And Missy says, Davros is your arch enemy now, I'll scratch his eyes out. So Davros had his screwdriver. Did the doctor save young Davros or leave him to be taken by the handmaids? He says goodbye, Clara, but Clara and Missy won't be stopped and they go with him. The Axie chap has found the TARDIS, but he's a Dalek man. The Davros is a child of war. He's sealed everyone of his own kind in a tank. And then they're in a spaceship and they are coming out of hyperspace and going to what they think is another spaceship. And Missy is singing to while away the time, which is amusing. The doctor's been lying to Clara, so Clara demands he make it up to her. And that meaning, because he likes Clara so much, he'll definitely want to come back to Clara and make it up to her. Missy and Clara notice the gravity. Artificial gravity is coppery and a tiny bit sexy, but this gravity is just normal gravity, which is unusual as they're meant to be on a spaceship. Missy decides to open the big hatch and she says, let's make jam. I'm not quite sure. I assume that let's make jam means it's okay if we explode. The doctor is facing Davros and Davros makes a cutting remark. I approve of your new face, Doctor. So much more like mine. I need to let my space cat out of my little TARDIS, because I have my own TARDIS. Okay, space cat. Space cat's gone on an adventure. We then hear from the 4th, the 5th, 7th, 10th, the 6th Doctor, and then we see a vision of Tom Baker deciding the 4th Doctor. Vision of the 4th Doctor. Does he have the right to destroy the Daleks? The Doctor has a sense of guilt and shame, which he's proud that he feels guilty and shameful. Davros was trying to insult him. Davros assumes he was right to create the Daleks. Oh, the Doctor's friends have gone exploring. Missy and Clara have gone outside of this so-called spaceship, but space is on the ground. Missy's walking on the ground. It's an invisible planet. Missy's now syncing with the spectrum. And surprise, it's on Skaro. They're at Skaro at the beginning, the planet of the Daleks. And then they're in a room. It's all of the Daleks, all different types of Daleks, and they've got the TARDIS. And they're going to destroy the TARDIS. And Clara says, oh, you can't destroy the TARDIS, it's indestructible. And Missy says, never believe a man about a vehicle. And then Missy stands up on a podium and asks, so all the Daleks are facing her. And then the Dalek says, maximum extermination. Then Missy is seemingly exterminated. And the Doctor is panicked. Oh, my Clara, my Clara. And the Daleks need her to run. And Davros says, life at its purest. And Clara does run. And they zap it and she seems to be exterminated. Is she? Compassion is the Doctor's greatest indulgence. Have the Daleks actually destroyed the TARDIS? Davros wants the Doctor to admit that compassion is wrong. Then we see little Davros on the battlefield again, and the Doctor comes from the future with a Dalek attachment arm, and he says exterminate, just like a Dalek. Is he going to fire? Is he going to kill Davros with a Dalek arm? And isn't that a paradox? And Davros didn't invent a Dalek. How's he got a Dalek arm? Did the Doctor just make one? But how did he know how to make one if the Daleks weren't invented? So it's a very big dilemma. If the Doctor kills young Davros, he wipes out the Daleks, which could be classed as genocide. If he saves young Davros, if Davros has compassion and he does not create the Daleks, then it could be seen as that means the Daleks are wiped out. But it does mean that they're just ordinary people. But they'd be wiped out by the Thals then. And if he saves young Davros, and Davros still creates the Daleks, then loads of other creatures will be killed. It's seemingly an impossible choice. And we find out more next week. So, oh my gosh, that was like the best episode ever. That was really cool. I loved the Doctor coming in with his electric guitar. That was amazing and sexy and awesome. I love Missy. Very interesting to see if Clara has actually, that is Clara's exit, if she has actually been exterminated, and if the rest of the series is the Doctor visiting Clara Echoes. And if it's very intriguing and it would be very exciting to watch. It's kind of hurts that it's a cliffhanger. It's like, but it was amazing and I really enjoyed it. And my rating is, I'm very tempted to say 10 out of 10. Because individually I would give that 10 out of 10 because I loved meeting a lot of the Russell T Davies era stuff. That was brilliant. And we saw Davros and the Doctor was playing electric guitar and making jokes and hugging and saying dude, and it was amazing. So, and it was really fast paced too, it didn't drag or anything, and every scene was worth it, and every scene you was meant to be there. It wasn't like there was anything to say, oh, we didn't really need all that. It was right, and the humour was balanced with the dilemma correctly or effectively, and the music was all James Bondy kind of thing. I thought it was amazing, so yes, I am going to give it 10 out of 10. Not sure what Space Cat thinks. Jet? Space Cat is musing on his score, I think. So I hope you have enjoyed this review. don't forget to come back for the next episode review. Yay, thank you for watching.